Hey everyone, it's meteorologist, 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist James Gregorio here, joined by First Coast meteorologist Robert Spetta. So thanks for joining us again, in for Lee, I guess, this morning. So well represented here across the state of Florida.
Yeah, in for Lee, also in for Mike. I actually just jumped on here. Didn't realize I was going to be hanging out with you until about 10 minutes ago, so pretty excited to be here with you. Hey, here's the good news. The weather is nice across the state of Florida today, right?
Yeah.
So we got good weather to talk about for now. That's the plus side of things.
Right, exactly.
You got any big events going on there in the Tampa area this weekend, James, that people could probably be heading out to or anything like that?
Yeah, we've got a lot of events going on, a lot of boat parades, a lot of things like that, but we don't have, obviously, the Bucks playing this Sunday. We played Thursday night. I'm sure you've probably seen a few excerpts of Todd Bowles' press conference, so they seem to be making the rounds. Obviously, the Bucks blew the lead, but that's a whole different story. So anyway, no Bucks football this weekend, but a lot of boat parades, a lot of things going on. We had the Tarpon Springs boat parade last night, a lot of events this weekend, and the forecast looks great. So we're really shaping up well for that. So we'll jump right into some cameras here in and around the Bay Area, Robert. So downtown Tampa looking great, St. Pete looking awesome, Lakeland looking fantastic. A couple high thin cirrus clouds out there, nothing more substantial than that, which is fantastic. So Sarasota, Clearwater Beach, Armature Works, all looking good here. So we've had a couple drifting high thin cirrus clouds, some clouds in the mid layers, but that's about as significant as it's been thus far here this morning. So I think we've really been shaping up nicely and been fortunate to enjoy this nice day. High temperatures today will make a rebound. Yesterday we only topped out in the low 70s. Today I think we make a run for the upper 70s. So nice little pop in the temperatures before we get that strong cold front that comes through early next week, and that's going to drop our temperatures certainly as we head in towards Monday and Tuesday as well. So those temperatures will certainly take a pretty significant dip as we head into early next week. However, currently they look great. St. Pete at 70, MacDill at 74, at 75 in Lakewood Ranch right now. Sarasota at about 76.
Ooh.
So nice little pop in the numbers, huh? Yeah, our normal high should be about 74, 75. So I think we're going to make a run inland. Areas like Frostproof, maybe Sebring could get close to 80 degrees today. So not bad, huh?
That's why it's called frostproof. That's exactly it right there.
Exactly.
75. Woo.
Yeah. So you guys aren't going to be quite as warm today, unfortunately, I think.
Yeah, we're a little bit cooler. In fact, we got clear skies out there. We had temperatures in the 30s this morning. A chilly start to the day. In fact, I will show you my camera. Let's pop this up because I do have clear skies. Jacksonville Beach looking beautiful right now, and that's what I'm actually showing right here. Look at that. Some people out there, but there's one person right in the middle of the screen here. Two people. They're wearing shorts. I mean, it's Florida. You wear your shorts all day you want. But it is still kind of chilly out there this morning. But we're warming up to 73 degrees this afternoon in Jacksonville. And overall, the weekend looking good. Look at the 74. Now, unlike the Bucks, and if you're in Tampa and you're craving some football this weekend, the Jags are playing here on Sunday, and the weather is looking gorgeous for it. I don't know if you know, James, we got that pool inside the stadium. We got two pools in the stadium.
Fantastic.
I think the water, they're not heated.
That's
so
okay,
I don't know if I want to jump in.
Yeah, that's all right, though. Maybe they could be a cold plunge, right? After an overnight low of 37.
Yeah, a little polar plunge in there.
Losers got to take the plunge.
A little bit cool.
Yeah, a little bit cool. Losers take the plunge. Exactly. No, that is cool. That's definitely a nice feature of your stadium, no doubt. All right, let's roll through the Futurecast a little bit here. We'll take a look at how we're faring as we head towards midday and mid-afternoon here. We got a few clouds in place here, and that's kind of the game that we're going to play all day long here today. So a different sort of game. No football here. We're playing the weather game at 3 o'clock. You notice those northeast winds at about 6. They're on the mild side. Really not much of an issue. As we move in towards 5:30, if you're heading out for dinner or what have you, all looking good here. So not much of an issue there. Cloudiness and cloud coverage will start to build in as we head in towards 9:30, 10 o'clock or so tonight as well. And for at least a little while here, more so on the East Coast, Palm Bay down to Fort Pierce. And then the clouds will start kind of drifting a little bit, broken cloudiness overnight in towards 4 or 5 o'clock. Now, we do have like a 5% chance of a stray little shower, very, very minimal shower. We're only talking about 1 or 2 1/100ths of an inch of rain, perhaps, as we make our way in towards the overnight hours and in towards tomorrow. So really, really minimal chances. You wouldn't even notice it. But it looks like Jupiter may get into the act with a heavier downpour, which you will definitely notice tomorrow morning. But all the activity seems to be concentrated sort of south and east of us here in the Bay Area, and more so on the east coast of Florida than anything that we might encounter. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're back into sunshine. Actually, it looks like it's a sunnier afternoon, or at least a portion of the afternoon looks a little bit sunnier than what we're dealing with today. But it's a great looking day here. So again, mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies, just not perfect, but hey, some filtered sunshine at times, and at other times, full-on sunshine. Seas about a foot here on the bay, and light chop on the bay rather. Seas a foot on the Gulf. All in all, looking really good. Great day to get out there on the boat, fire up the jet ski, and have at it.
How are your water temps? What, 69 degrees right now?
Yeah, 69. Yeah.
I like jet ski. Just wear those. It's starting to get a little cool out there.
Cool, yeah. But I mean, throw on some if you had to. I mean, 69. If you're not in the water the whole time, I think is fine. So you get splashed.
Yeah, that should be about fine. I wouldn't go swimming in that. Hey, I was curious. Yeah. Did you see any shooting stars last night?
I didn't. I was in bed early last night, so I conked out kind of early. Was traveling yesterday, so I was kind of, tired. So no shooting stars for me.
Talked to a few people, at least here in the Jacksonville area. I didn't see any. I was standing outside for a little while around 3 a.m. before coming to work this morning, trying to look for them. And, of course, the Geminids meteor shower is going on. And I bring this up because you were talking about the clear skies out there. And last night it was peaking, but it's also still going to peak tonight. So if it's... A lot of people ask me, where should I look? And I always say, especially with the Geminids, it's very easy to find Orion's belt, kind of one of the most easiest to find constellations in the night sky. Kind of in that direction is going to be the Geminids, and it's about 40 to 50 meteors per hour. It's going to peak last night and tonight. Pretty cool. I love seeing it. Look, some shooting stars out there. It's always fun to see. And I don't know what your thoughts on this are here, James. So SLC 41 is going to be going up at 3:30 in the morning on Monday. And I put weather 50-50 chance. 2 reasons for it. My thoughts, and I would like to hear your thoughts. One, it's going to start to get cold, but I don't think they're going to get too cold, as we know what happened with Challenger back in the 80s. They're not going to launch with those temperatures into the 50s, 50s, 30s. But the other thing is that front, the timing of that front might hinder kind of the visibility, or not just visibility, but the cloud cover over top of that and everything at 3:30 in the morning on Monday. And it's a leading edge, of course, of that colder air. What do you think? What do you think 3:30 Monday morning, Central Florida? The odds of maybe them getting a rocket off here.
Yeah, I think you're pretty good with 50-50 as we're trying to time out the frontal passage. And, it's tough. The last cold front that came through, kind of hung out a little bit and really was not moving in typical kind of cold front fashion. It was really slow. And in fact, last weekend we had record-breaking rains on Sunday because of it. Portions of our area had 5 inches worth of rain, and that's been, really needed. We've been in a drought like you guys have. So that rainfall was certainly needed, but obviously if you get 5 inches in one event, a lot of it's wasted and runs off and that sort of thing. So, I think 50-50 is probably a good bet, but could certainly see it alter, hamper, delay the launch especially with a cold front, and that's a pretty robust front. So aside from the cold air behind it, cold fronts usually have a decent shot of precip with it as well. So, more oomph, more potent than what you would get with a warm front. And as a result, they may be more inclined to delay and or exercise more caution with that sort of front moving through.
It's always those 3:30 in the morning ones, though, because this one's going to be going north, so it might be hard to see it in Tampa. But I know in Jacksonville, it's one of those ones that kind of splits the sky, and you get that jellyfish cloud out of it.
Right,
especially
right.
with the Atlas V being it's always fun to see.
Yeah, no doubt. It's super cool. I don't think we'll be able to see it much here, but maybe our inland folks, maybe on the eastern side of Polk County, let's say, and closer to Orlando and perhaps portions of the I-4 corridor, you may be able to get a glimpse, which would be cool.
Yeah. So you want to talk about this cold air on Monday a little bit here?
Yeah.
Because I think so for you guys, it's not going to be too bad, right? What did you say? If you already said it, I apologize. What are we going for our low in Tampa on Monday?
Well, Monday and Tuesday. I think Tuesday morning might actually be the colder morning than Monday. So Tuesday morning, Tampa, I think might only get down to the upper 40s, maybe 50. But, up towards the Nature Coast, we're going to see those temperatures get down probably in the upper 30s and perhaps into the low 40s. So really kind of depends where you are. We tend to stay a little milder here right around the bay. So, closer to the Gulf as well. But further to the north and inland, I think they're going to see some chilly temperatures Monday morning and also more so Tuesday morning. I think those numbers kind of peak early on Monday. Front comes through, fall, and then into Tuesday morning as well. So definitely some chilly stuff, no doubt. So, cold. 'Tis the season, almost officially winter, right?
Right. Astronomically. By the way, you're talking about cold air. I was just looking at this in northern British Columbia this morning. Mm-hmm. They're around minus 40 degrees at one location there.
Actual air temp, not wind chill.
When people say the weather could be worse,
exactly.
That's without wind chill,
yeah. So that's that lobe of the polar vortex that kind of, we'll jump into the upper air pattern in a little bit, but that's that lobe of the polar vortex that has just been creeping down. And then what we'll show you is that thankfully that moderates a little bit and the upper air pattern sort of goes a little more zonal and you don't have, pieces or lobes of the polar vortex kind of, zipping down further to the south and driving in some of that wickedly cold air.
I do hope it moderates.
Exactly.
Moderates just a little bit by the time it gets here.
Right.
In fact, I'll show you this graphic.
Yeah.
This is temperatures across the United States right now, of course. In Jacksonville, central areas of Florida, we're 60s to 70s. But yeah, look at International Falls, minus 12 right now. The Jets are visiting from out of town here playing the Jags this weekend. They're not going to want to go home.
No.
It's just cold. By the way, and I just want to point this out, we do have a weather impact alert in place for Jacksonville Monday morning. And I hear you when you say that Tuesday probably going to be a little bit colder, but the problem, at least for us, is that the wind is going to be in place because once that front kicks on by, we're going to get this just tight pressure gradient setting up behind it. So it's not going to be like thunderstorm winds or anything like that, just this tight kind of straight line winds that goes with it. And the issue at that point is really going to be the wind chills. And this is gonna send a shiver up your spine, okay, James?
Yeah.
Look at these wind. Oh! No. I feel for our Monday morning, Good Morning Jacksonville reporter. I think we should just send him to Waycross for giggles there in Southeast Georgia. Oh, no. So what are you thinking for wind chills in Tampa then? Not quite as cold, but do you expect any wind chills out there or anything like that?
Yeah, but I mean, I think at best, maybe Tuesday morning we would feel closer to freezing or, something like that, but not teens, certainly. So, we don't have that level of wickedness across the Bay Area. I was just in New Jersey over the last few days and woke up one morning, it was 17, the overnight low. the actual overnight low. Woo! No wind. 17 was the low temperature. And in fact, next week, if you've got friends or family or anyone visiting up there, up north, that cold front, Monday, it's either Monday or Tuesday of next week. I think their high temp won't get out of the 20s. So cold for this time of year, no doubt.
The problem with New Jersey as well is that it's not really a good sporting area, I guess, because I grew up like in upstate where you could go skiing. So you're like, okay, I hate the snow,
upstate
but
New York.
I'm going to get some hockey in. I'm going to go skiing. Yes, yeah. Upstate New York.
Yeah.
So I can get that hockey in. I can go skiing. You deal with it.
Yeah.
But there's not any skiing in New Jersey, is there?
There
I don't think there really is much of anything there.
Yeah, Mountain Creek is there.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I mean, look, it's not as good as what you would find in upstate New York or certainly Vermont and New Hampshire. But there's actually a couple little mountains. So believe it or not, with I think High Point State Park is 1,000-foot elevation, something like that. So the max, or slightly over 1,000. So yeah. So where in upstate New York did you grow up?
Ooh. Oh, sorry?
Where in upstate New York did you grow up?
Western New York. So I say upstate Western, just south of Buffalo. So I grew up around Holiday Valley, big ski neighborhood there.
Yes.
I grew up right in that town, worked there during high school, just one of those ski bums. And then I said, this cold weather is too much, and I joined the Navy and visited the tropics after that.
There you go, then you were hooked.
But now here, hey, in Jacksonville now, we do have an outdoor ice rink over the holidays here, so getting those little taste of winter weather out here, I suppose, even with the 70s we got today.
Exactly. Yeah, and here in the Bay Area, the Lightning, our hockey team, is got a ravenous following. So, and obviously, you win a Stanley Cup, that'll do it. But, we're just talking about this last night, the Canadians haven't won a Stanley Cup in something like 30 years. So it just seems a little ironic.
They need to get on top of that.
A little ironic in that part of the world where those kids learn how to skate probably before they can walk, So it just cracks me up a little bit. Anyway, let's go back to the maps here. We're talking about a little bit of rainfall potentially as we head in towards Sunday, about a 5% chance of a stray shower. So really minimal in towards tomorrow. It would be essentially south and east of I-4, so not much of an issue there, and it would be really, really slight. So that cold front we've been talking about, that frontal boundary comes through over Monday, Tuesday, and in doing so, that's really going to drop our temperatures, high temperatures as we shoot in towards Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Monday? In the 60s here. We'll have that 7-day forecast coming up for you. All right, let's talk about that upper air pattern a little bit here. Look at the dip in the jet stream, and you could see that jet kind of taking the dip all the way down through St. Louis and just north of Atlanta a little bit. Now, this is tomorrow. Watch what happens on Monday. Sort of starts to pull out. The trough doesn't flatten out quite yet, but starts to pull further, starts to recede a little bit. And those bright magenta and purple colors sort of get pushed back into Canada, which is good because that's the wickedly cold air. And then by Tuesday, it does start to flatten out a little bit. You start to notice that ridge out to the west, that ridge of higher pressure, which is starting to build in on Tuesday as well. So I'm going to break out my pen here. So there's the ridge right up in here. So you got high pressure in here, just building in, and that area of high pressure kind of forcing the cold air up and around it, and then you start to see that dip like that. But the real colder air is really that. That northern line, if you will. So that's kind of separating the Arctic air and the cooler air. But you can see that cold air makes a run, spills all the way down through South Carolina and almost into North Georgia a little bit. Now that's Tuesday as we scoot there in towards Wednesday and Thursday. Let me clear these telestrations a little bit and. Let me see. There we go.
I like the fact that high pressure ridge you're drawing there is moving east as well. So kind of bringing that warm air back, right?
Exactly. So but you can see by Thursday the ridge sort of collapsed a little bit, but it's just more of a zonal flow, and that's fine too. We keep the the cold Arctic air here, no big ridge trough pattern, if you will, but we still have the warm air kind of where it should be down here, and the cold air where it should be well to the north. So, and a little bit of it, in between here, the moderate air in the nation's midsection. So all is right in the lower 48. We've sort of leveled out that pattern a little bit, and no ridges, no troughs, and everyone's kind of happy. Everything is as it should be.
Can you go back to the beginning of that loop, to the first day? Because there's another thing that I think we should point out is, of course, we're talking about the weather. This is our Florida chat.
Yeah.
But I also want to mention, the very tip of that ridge off the Pacific Northwest in British Columbia area.
Yeah.
They've been getting just some absurd amount of rainfall out there.
That river,
And it's the Pineapple Express, if you will, coming out of the Pacific
Hawaii.
there. River of moisture, however you want to call it. And it's just, have you seen some of the videos out of there?
Yeah, they've gotten shellacked with rain. They've had some crazy flooding in Washington State, areas like that. So, so that river of air has just been hammering Vancouver, Portland, Seattle, and then just kind of, sliding over that ridge, if you will, a little bit. And, so that pineapple connection has been strong, certainly.
Yeah, it's been it's quite impressive how this is all tied together, that weather over there, and at least when you mention things going back zonal, that also is going to help improve their weather, same as improving our weather. We don't get these big waves in the jet stream here, but cold. They're getting the wet stuff, cold up north. I guess that puts in perspective our wind chills into the 30s to 20s on Tuesday.
Right.
Could always be worse, I suppose.
Could always be worse. And
let's
take a look at the travel forecast because, a lot of folks, 'tis the season, right? A lot of folks will be traveling. So as we move in towards, later this afternoon, notice that little snowmaker in Chicagoland or south of Chicago in towards St. Louis. High temperatures or close to high temperatures, I should say. St. Louis at 22 at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Columbus, Ohio at about 30 degrees. And then dropping at 4, Columbus is at 27. And then there's that snowmaker. That's the snowmaker, by the way, for tonight into tomorrow for New York City, New Jersey, in towards Long Island, Connecticut as well, Sunday morning. Portions of New Jersey anticipating as much as 4 to 5 inches of snow tonight. So it's a pretty decent system. We're not talking about your garden variety clipper. It's not even really a clipper system. It's a, weaker snowstorm, but they've got winter weather advisories in place. Wouldn't be surprised if they kicked it up in a few counties to a winter storm watch, perhaps, teetering on close to 6 inches there. So close to the criteria. So anyway,
then you can even...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say on the back side of that, even the lake effect snow machine churning on there all across the lakes as well. You got temperatures, what is there? Columbus, so it's 8 degrees,
right.
Syracuse at 14. And I know the lakes are definitely not froze over. The water temperatures there are still into the 30s, up near 40 across Erie and Ontario. So I wouldn't be surprised if they full on turn on the lake effect snow machine on the back side of that low. It's going to be just some messy travel weather since we're talking about the travel forecast.
Yes,
there.
yeah, no doubt. And I'm sure you know this with ties to the area, Erie especially. Erie hasn't frozen in the last at least couple years. It might be 3 years now since Erie has frozen over Lake Erie. So, with lake temperatures, and I think it was either last winter or the winter before, they might have had their warmest lake temperature at close to 40 degrees on whatever the date was. So it was very mild.
Yeah.
So they've had a tough. So why is that important for our friends and viewers here in Florida if they're just interested in it? Lake effect snow doesn't happen if the lake is frozen. So if there's no moisture source,
it's kind of it's a little juxtaposition, right?
Right. It can't happen. So usually areas like that in Western New York will get lake effect earlier in the season, and then the winter gets harsh enough, the lake freezes, and then that lake effect snow machine is cut off. That hasn't happened in the last couple of years. So that means that lake effect snow machine is very much so in play all winter long. So you can get those 2, 3, and 4 foot snowstorms hammering in February as compared to years past where it's been more of a maybe December thing.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, we're not going to get anything like that.
No.
We only got a few more minutes here. So, hey, you want to give me your 7-day, and you show me yours. I'll show you mine here in just a second here.
Right.
What do you got there for your extended outlook?
All right, so that extended forecast looks good. We're talking about a nice go. Again, Monday is our cooler day. There it is. There's that high of 64 on Monday. So that's about 10 degrees below where we should be. Tuesday, we climb into the lower 70s after coming off that overnight low, which in Tampa is right around 50. But again, Tuesday morning will be significantly colder as you make your way towards the Nature Coast, into Polk County, inland areas like that. We're going to be talking about temperatures that are going to be as low as the upper 30s and into the 40s as well. So cold start Tuesday morning, but a really nice rebound. Wednesday and Thursday look for high temperatures. Wednesday into the upper 70s. And look at that. Next Thursday, rocking a high of near 80 degrees on next Thursday. Next Friday, also well into the upper 70s. So, the beautiful thing about the cold around here doesn't stick around too long, my friend.
Wow, 80 degrees, late December. Okay, you win. You win the forecast
Uncle.
here. I'll show you my 7-day here because it's the same trend. I was bragging about our 74 today, and then you whip out an 80. All right, Sunday's got 74, but then Monday is 34 for the low, and a lot of people have been asking me, like, well, today was down into the 30s. What's the difference? It's that north 10 to 20, could be even gusting 25 along the coast at times, which brings the wind chill into the teens, but we do climb back up. So same general trend, just not to 80 like you. So you definitely win in the nice weather game out here, James.
Exactly. As we like to say, the trend is your friend, right? So both in Jax and here in the Bay Area, it's a short little cold snap, as we showed you on the upper air pattern. We kick that trough out of here. The cold air retreats as well, and all is right, and we return back to some relatively warmer temperatures. All right, so it has been awesome spending some time with you, my friend. Thanks for joining us here on Weather Impact Live. From Tampa, from Jacksonville. Have a great Saturday, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock as well. Will you be joining us again tomorrow?
I will not be. You will have Mike Pringley tomorrow.
Great. Excellent. All right. So we'll see Mike and myself tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Same time, same bad place. Be here. We'll see you then.